everybody, welcome back to another Forever World video. I have many updates to share with you guys, and I also want to get to some building slash terraforming today. Now without further ado, let's just hop right into it and see where our adventure takes us. I have a huge update, and that is my brand new cottage. This is probably the final edition of it, and this is a build by Monkey, which is a YouTuber who has beautiful builds. You probably know who I'm talking about. And this took literally forever because it was a little hard following along with the video tutorial, but eventually I got the house built. I also updated my storage house roof. It's not completely done. I would like to add lots of leaves and other variants of blocks for the roof, but I do like the windows a lot better, and I did add dark oak trims for the roof to match the house. I also got a new texture pack for my GUI. I love this one so much. I'll just show you guys my resource packs right now. Some of them I found recently and fell in love with them. Others I have been using for a very long time in my other playthroughs. If you'd like to see the full list and also check it out for yourself, I have a website linked in the description below. And if you browse it for a bit, I do have a section for my texture and mods for different worlds that I have. Moving on, let me show you what the inside looks like. It is unfinished, and I only started setting up the kitchen because I have a lot of seeds and food materials that I would like a place for, so I figured the kitchen would be a good place to start. I just have this section done for now, and I added some curtains over here. Even this isn't done yet. This is supposed to be like a staircase to the second floor, but I haven't finished that because I've been so distracted with so many other things. This is the staircase to the second floor. I just have my chests over here because I don't really have anywhere else to put them, and I don't want to move all these items to the storage house. But like I said, I've been a bit distracted because I've been working on trying to figure out what I want to start terraforming first. And I even started decorating my garden. I did this in a long play, and I sectioned out a whole new little farm area. It's a lot bigger, and it is square, which can be fine, but I want to add a bit more of a coastal medieval farmland touch by just adding lots and lots of small details that'll make it feel like we are stepping into a time machine and going back to medieval times where farmers are surviving on the coastal area. I have a special Pinterest board that I have set up just for this, and I'm going to be referencing that. If you'd like to see it, I will leave that in the description below as well. I've already started knocking down quite a lot of trees over here, and I did install passive mobs because I kind of don't want to deal with having to fight mobs all the time, especially if I want to get stuff done during the night. I'm going to knock down the rest of these trees here because I want to have a complete view of what everything looks like. It's kind of hard to do that when there's a bunch of trees all over, and I do realize that I have to fill in quite a bit of holes and terrain in this area, so I want to start off with that first. Also, if it isn't obvious, I do have the Critters and Companions fabric version installed. They recently released a brand new update that adds a ton of cute bugs, and if you guys have some name suggestions, or if some of my YouTube channel members, aka the Honey Bun Cafe and Bakery members, would like to be named after a bug, let me know. Leave a comment in the section below because I would love to have so many of you guys running around here as cute little bugs. I think that would be so much fun. I even want to build a little bug sanctuary or a greenhouse for them because I think that would be really perfect. I got straight away to terraforming and trying to figure out how I want the layers to look like for my area. It was pretty hard since I had to go back and go into free cam mode to see what everything looks like. I ended up being satisfied with what I got done. Obviously, I still have to replant so many trees and figure out my pathing, but that's later down in the future once I have a couple more buildings built. Okay, I've got quite a bit of land cleared out, and I also filled in some holes over there. I took off some awkward land over here, and now I have a better view of what I've got to work with. Probably going to take a chunk of the layers over here just to flatten it out and give more space to this layer. And then over here, I want to add a lighthouse eventually. I'm going to need lots of bricks though, and probably some white concrete. I think that would work best. And since I don't have all the materials for that right now, that's going to be on a to-do list. Oh, which reminds me, I need to set up a bulletin board. So let's go and do that very quickly. I'm going to put it towards the front of my house and just make something quick and simple. Nothing too crazy, but I'm able to see all of the goals that I want to get through for this area. Here is the little bulletin board. I'm going to start listing out some things that I want to get done. First thing on the bulletin board is to build a seawall. And of course, I have to add my little text effects. Then I want to build a lighthouse. Oh, I would also like to add custom trees. Build a small barn. Nothing too crazy. It doesn't have to be ginormous, but just to have a couple of sheep and cows and maybe some cute little chickens. I want to build a fishing dock. I'm also going to put nothing on here as well. For now, I think this is good. They're really bigger projects, but that's kind of just how I work. The smaller details, I'm probably just going to keep in my head. I don't have to necessarily put it on the bulletin board. I think this is a good start. And I think I should start with pathing and a seawall. As for the barn, I do want to add it over here, but I need to get a lot of materials like more spruce, and I also want to get dark oak as well and figure out what I actually want it to look like. I think I'm going to do some mining and get some more stone so that I can fully get some of the wall up at least on this side, and if I don't get this side done, I can just do it on my own time. After contemplating, I decided instead of doing a barn like I wanted to over in the upper part of my area, I decided to make something that's similar to a wheelhouse, but in this case, it's going to be a bit weathered and a bit on the smaller side. I have more ideas that I would like to add around this area, and after looking at a couple of the pictures and inspirations that I have on my Pinterest board for this area, I noticed that they didn't have huge barns. It was more like the animals were roaming around within the walls that were there around the coastal lines. So I think I'm going to do something like that. For this build, I ended up going with dark oak, deep slate, cobblestone, spruce, and different variations of all of those blocks. It also didn't take me too long to gather these materials, especially the wood, since I have the falling tree mod, and it comes in handy when you want to build but you don't want to spend hours trying to chop down giant 2x2 trees. Once I returned from gathering the materials, I sorted out everything in my inventory, and I decided to grab a couple of more materials that I already had made, and one of them being these chimneys. I didn't know that you could get rid of the soot by right-clicking them with an axe. That's a really cool feature, and if you didn't know, now you know. Once everything was settled, I was finally ready to build. Oh my gosh, it's raining. Alright, so I finished the house, and this is the wheel that I tried to build. Now, I didn't follow a tutorial because I couldn't really find one. So I went off of a Pinterest photo, which I will add on the screen, and tried my very best to replicate it. And I think it fits. I don't know if I should have made it bigger or not. Let me know. This is the size comparison. Let's back up. This is what it looks like from afar. I feel like something's missing over here. Maybe I'll add like a chimney on this upper part, or I might just need to put some windows and some leaves or something. But let me know if you think this is a decent size for a water wheel. It's obviously not functioning because I think you need to have create mod installed, and I don't know how to use that mod and I don't want to install it. So we'll pretend that it is abandoned. I mean, look at the state of this house. Now I want to use this little structure for let's think of it as processing produce, I guess. So I know I'll have like a kitchen in my home, but I kind of want to add a place where you would put like a loom or a smelting or a smithing. So this is what this house will be dedicated for. I have to put in the ground. I don't know what style or pattern I want to do for the ground. And I kind of want to show you what I did on the bottom, because I went ahead and tried to bring this all the way down to the bottom so it doesn't look like it's floating. And I feel like it would be cool to add some more decoration under here. Even look, this is like a little cave. I want to add something back in the river over here. It could be a boat. It could be a dock somewhere. Oh, is that thunder? Let's go to sleep. Oh, it's thunder. It's thunder. Let's go to sleep. Let's go to sleep right now. I don't want to experience this. As I was saying, yeah, I don't know if I should put something back here. I feel like I really want to build a boat. Like a pink one. Oh my god, a pink boat. That would be so much fun. I'll also need lots of sheep so that I can get some wool for the sail. I think that would be pretty cool. Let me know if I should add a boat and part of a dock over here. I feel like I really want to do that. And I want to add something where it looks like I'm processing fish. You know how there's drying racks for fish? I want to do something like that. I haven't seen any builds like that before. Maybe I could just make it myself and pretend there's fish hanging on there or something. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. It looks so good, and I'm really happy with all of the weathering effects that I've added. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the state of this. I feel like I just need to cover it a bit with some leaves, but I like how abandoned it looks. And obviously this is a totally different idea because I was originally going to put a barn here, but I ended up adding a wheelhouse, and I feel like it fits a lot better and I love it. All that's left to do is like decorate and everything. Now, as for this wall thing that I really wanted to add, I'm going to not do it today because I have the idea of adding maybe a dock over here and a boat. So I'll have to figure out where I'm going to actually start the wall. Plus, I still want to terraform some parts and maybe extend this section of my area just to give myself more space to build on, because we just have like a lot of layers that I have to knock out and nothing's really flat. So I'll have to do that. I should probably add some sort of pathing. I'm going to do a 3x3, of course. Now, will it lead all the way up to there? No, because I have yet to actually get the pathing from over here all the way to down here. This is my usual process. If you've watched my cozy survival video, I kind of talked about my pathing process a bit, but it's honestly nothing too crazy. I usually just make a 3x3 and go from there pretty much. I think I used up all the moss that I had, so I don't have any moss besides like moss carpet. And I like to add these. Oh my gosh, I didn't know you could stack moss. Is this it's ecology's thing. Whoa, that is so cool. Hold on. I have an idea. What if I do this here? Wow, I have a lot more detailing that I can do. That's pretty awesome. Speaking of chimneys from earlier, I think I'm going to add these that I have. If you saw earlier, I found out that you could get rid of the soot that these chimneys get over time with right-clicking it with an axe, which I didn't know was a thing, which is super cool. I feel like that's good. I'm also going to add some flowers because I got rid of a lot of the little vegetation that was here, so I'm going to need to add some of it back, as well as putting some little hay bale decorations around, which I think makes a lot of sense for this new wheelhouse build. I think I am going to add windows. Let's put one right here. And I'm going to use the same window panes that I have for my other two buildings. And just make these blue. And I also have this surface moss, which maybe it will help blend these in a bit more. I'll have to get some more moss to make more of it. For the floors, I'm going to use this stone and andesite and try to make some sort of, maybe not a crazy pattern, but I'll start from these corners and see what comes of it. Alright, I think this is simple enough, nothing too crazy. I'm going to place back these torches so mobs don't end up spawning all over the place. But I think this is a good flooring for it, kind of keep in theme with all of the stone that's surrounding the building itself. And I think the next steps, besides the interior, is adding some custom trees. It looks a lot better with the vegetation around and the windows. I think the windows add a beautiful touch. It kind of looks like a cottage, but no, this will be a future workspace where I can like process some produce. That is all for today's video. I am so happy with what I decided to do today. I know I set out a bulletin board with so many other structures that I wanted to build and kind of change my mind for this area. It's a work in progress. Maybe I can fit a barn here once I do a bit more terraforming. But for now, I'm really happy with this little water wheelhouse. I don't know what to call it. It's super quaint, super cute, and I can't wait to decorate it in the next episodes. And of course, a huge shout out to my YouTube channel members. Thank you guys so much for supporting me a bit extra, and thank you to everyone watching, lurking, or leaving the video playing in the background. I appreciate you all with all my heart, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!